yo hablaré en español porque no
I
sé
will
hablar
speak
inglés.
in Spanish.
Pero él
I can't
habla
speak
muy bien
English, but his English is
I'm
excellent.
going to speak in Spanish,
And
not
he will
English, and I'll be
interpret for you.
translating.
Gracias por recibirme
Thank you for
y
welcoming
darme
me
la oportunidad
and giving me the
de
chance
estar aquí con ustedes compartiendo
to be
este
here with
momento.
you to share this moment in
Un
your
momento
lives.
difícil, cargado de
It is a
tensión,
difficult moment, a time fraught with challenges.
que es doloroso, no solo
I know this moment is painful
para
for
las
you,
familias,
but I also know that it is painful for your families and for all of society.
ya que una sociedad, una familia
Because
que no sabe,
if a society or a family cannot feel the pain of
que
its
no
children,
lo toma con
if
seriedad,
it cannot take their pain seriously,
naturaliza y los asume
if
como
the pain
normales
becomes normal
y esperables,
or expected,
es una sociedad que está
then that society
condenada
imprisons
a
itself.
quedar presa de sí misma, presa de todo
It is
lo
condemned
que
to imprison itself and to fall prey to its own suffering.
hace. Sobre todo,
I stand among you, a pastor, a shepherd, but above all, as your brother, to share in your plight and make it my own.
He venido a que podamos rezar juntos,
I am here that we may join in prayer
darle a nuestro Dios
and bring before our
que nos
God
duele,
everything
y
that
también
causes
lo
us
que nos
pain,
anima, y recibir de
but to
Él
also bring
la
everything that gives us
fuerza
hope,
de la resurrección.
so that we may receive from Him
Dear
the
brothers
power
and sisters,
of the resurrection.
thank you for receiving me and giving me the opportunity to be here with you and to share this time in your lives. It is a difficult time, one full of struggles. I know it is a painful time not only for you, but also for your families and for all of society. Any society, any family which cannot share or take seriously the pain of its children and views that pain as something normal or to be expected is a society condemned to remain a hostage to itself, prey to the very things that cause that pain. I am here as a pastor, but above all, as a brother, to share your situation and to make it my own. I have come so that we can pray together and offer our God everything that causes us pain, but also everything that gives us hope, so that we can receive from Him the power of the resurrection.
Recuerdo el Evangelio donde Jesús
I
lava
am
los pies
reminded of the
a
Gospel
sus discípulos en la última
when
cena.
Jesus washes the feet of His
Una
disciples at
actitud
the
que
Last Supper.
costó mucho entender a los discípulos.
And the disciples were puzzled by this. Peter
Les dice,
even
"Jamás permitiré que me laven los
refused,
pies".
and he said, "You shall never wash my feet."
I think of the gospel scene where Jesus washes the feet of His disciples at the Last Supper. This was something His disciples found hard to accept. Even Peter refused and told Him, "You will never wash my feet."
En aquel tiempo era habitual,
Back then,
cuando uno llegaba a una casa,
when you went to visit
que
someone,
lavara los pies.
the host would wash your
Toda
feet.
persona siempre era recibida así.
People were
que no
traditionally
existían
welcomed this
caminos
way
asfaltados,
because the roads were not paved. They were covered in
con
dust,
pedregullo que iba colándose en
with
las sandalias.
pebbles that would get stuck in your
Todos
sandals.
transitaban los senderos que dejaban el polvo
After
impregnado,
walking on these roads,
lastimaban con
everyone's
alguna
feet were
piedra
caked in
o
dust,
producían alguna herida.
bruised or cut from the stones.
Ahí lo vemos a Jesús lavando los pies.
So there was Jesus washing feet,
Los de,
our feet,
los de sus discípulos de ayer y
His
de hoy.
disciples' feet. Both
In those
then
days it
and
was
now.
the custom to wash someone's feet when they came to your home. That was how they welcomed people. The roads were not paved. They were covered with dust, and little stones would get stuck in your sandals. Everyone walked those roads, which left their feet dusty, bruised, or cut from those stones. That is why we see Jesus washing feet, our feet, the feet of His disciples then and now.
Todos sabemos que vivir es caminar.
We all know that
Vivir
to live
es andar
is
por
to
distintos
walk along different roads and paths, and that they all leave a mark on us.
Life is a journey along different roads, different paths, which leave their mark on us.
And we know in faith that Jesus seeks us out. We know that he wants to dress our wounds and soothe our feet, which are sore from the long journey under the burden of loneliness. We know he wants to wash us clean from the dust that we've gathered along the way. Jesus does not ask us where we've been. And he doesn't ask us what we've done. Instead, he says unto us, unless I wash your feet, you have no share with me. Unless I wash your feet, I will not be able to give you the life the Father dreamed for you, the life you were created for. Jesus comes to us to prepare our feet to walk in dignity as children of God once again. He wants to help us hit our stride again, to get back on those roads, to find our hope, to restore our faith and our trust. He wants us back on those roads, back to life. He wants us to realize that we have a mission, and that being confined during this time is not the same, will never be the same as being cast out.
We know in faith that Jesus seeks us out. He wants to heal our wounds, to soothe our feet, which hurt from traveling alone, to wash each of us clean of the dust from our journey. He doesn't ask us where we have been. He doesn't question us what about what we've done. Rather, he tells us, unless I wash your feet, you have no share with me. Unless I wash your feet, I will not be able to give you the life which the Father always dreamed of, the life for which he created you. Jesus comes to us so that he can restore our dignity as children of God. He wants to help us to set out again, to resume our journey, to recover our hope, to restore our faith and trust. He wants us to keep walking along the paths of life, to realize that we have a mission and that confinement is not the same thing as exclusion.
Life means getting our feet dirty in the dust-filled roads of life and of history. All of us need to be cleansed, to be washed. All of us. And I, the first among. All of us are being sought out by the teacher who wants to help us resume our journey. The Lord goes searching for us all to give us his hand. It's painful when we see prison systems which are not concerned to care for wounds, to soothe pain, to offer new possibilities. It is painful when we see people who think that only some others need to be cleansed, purified, and do not recognize that their weariness, pain, and wounds are also the weariness, pain, and wounds of society as a whole. The Lord tells us this clearly with a sign. He washes our feet so we can come back to the table from which he wishes no one to be excluded, the table which has been prepared for all of us and to which all of us are invited.
Life means getting our feet dirty from the dust-filled roads of life and history. All of us need to be cleansed, to be washed, all of us, and me in first place. All of us are being sought out by the teacher who wants to help us resume our journey. The Lord goes in search of us. To all of us, he stretches out a helping hand. It is painful when we see prison systems which are not concerned to care for wounds, to soothe pain, to offer new possibilities. It is painful when we see people who think that only others need to be cleansed, purified, and do not recognize that their weariness, pain, and wounds are also the weariness, pain, and wounds of society. The Lord tells us this clearly with a sign. He washes our feet so that we come back to the table from which he wishes no one to be excluded, the table which is spread for all and to which all of us are invited.
This time in your life can have but one purpose: to give you a helping hand to get back on the right path, to give you a hand to help you rejoin society. All of us are part of that effort. All of us are invited to encourage, help, and enable your rehabilitation. A rehabilitation which everyone seeks and desires. Inmates and their families, correctional authorities, social and educational programs. A rehabilitation which benefits and elevates the morale of the entire community and of society as a whole.
This time in your life can only have one purpose: to give you a hand in getting back on the right road, to give you a hand to help you rejoin society. All of us are part of that effort. All of us are invited to encourage, help, and enable your rehabilitation. A rehabilitation which everyone seeks and desires. Inmates and their families, correctional authorities, social and educational programs. A rehabilitation which benefits and elevates the morale of the entire community and society.
I would like to encourage you to have this attitude among you and with all other people who are part of this institution. Forge opportunities for one another, forge paths, forge new roadways.
I encourage you to have this attitude with one another and with all those who in any way are part of this institution. May you make possible new opportunities, new journeys, new paths.
All of us have something we need to be cleansed of or purified from. All of us. May the knowledge of that fact inspire us to live in solidarity, to support one another, and to seek the best for others.
All of us have something we need to be cleansed of or purified from. All of us. May the knowledge of that fact inspire us to live in solidarity, to support one another, and seek the best for others.
Let us look to Jesus, who washes our feet. He is the way, the truth, and the life. He comes to save us from the lie that says that no one can change. The lie that says that no one can change. He helps us to journey along the paths of life and fulfillment. May the power of his love and his resurrection always be a path leading you to a new life.
Let us look to Jesus, who washes our feet. He is the way and the truth and the life. He comes to save us from the lie that says no one can change, from the lie that says no one can change.
And as we
are seated now in silence,
al Señor que nos bendiga.
We ask the Lord to bless us.
Que el Señor los bendiga y los proteja.
May God bless you
Blessed by the Lord.
and protect you,
May God
Haga
bless you and
brillar
protect
su
you.
rostro sobre ustedes.
and make his face shine upon you,
Les descubra su rostro y les conceda la
May
paz.
He
and may he
reveal
grant you
His
peace.
countenance and grant you peace.
Thank you.
Greetings, I'm Jake Tapper, live from Philadelphia. We just heard Pope Francis speaking to roughly 95 inmates at the Curran Farmhold Correctional Facility, the largest